Afshin's story takes place during the Green Movement of 2009, which is when millions of youth were voting in the elections for change. And we all saw it on the news. And when it's widely perceived that the vote was rigged and that the regime that was in power stayed in power, and none of the changes, none of the extra freedoms, little freedoms that the youth were asking for were going to be given to them. What's fascinating about the Iranian youth and how they went about doing that was they're told you're not allowed to make noise by the police. So they did silent protests. Millions of people protesting silently. They were fiercely intelligent, highly educated. 70% of the population are under the age of 30 or 35. And these are people that are growing up knowing all of them have family in America, all of them have family in Europe. They all know what's going on around the world. They are so clever, and yet in their country, the most basic little freedoms that we take for granted are not awarded to them. They're not allowed to go on YouTube. They're not allowed to go on Twitter. They're blocked. So they use proxy servers. They hack in past the firewall that the government sets up and have access to social networking. But those elements can seem quite alien to us, and we can feel quite distant. Oh, that's not our world. But when you start talking about music, and when you start talking about dance, and when you start talking about those things that you were just, why would they be banned? And then you tell a story that's based around that, in that world, the world of the behind closed doors and outside, it was really fascinating. Casablanca in Morocco stood in for Tehran. And, Morocco has a very rich history in filmmaking. All of Ridley Scott's films are shot there. Many films are shot there. Game of Thrones are shot there. And so they have very experienced crews, and they have a very can-do attitude. And this film was made, for no money, practically. And the opportunities that we had in Morocco were amazing. So, we put the call out, and so many thousands of people started applying, wanting to be in the film, and that's how we were able to tell the protests with such a powerful force of people, because it had to be real, and I wanted the camera in it. I don't want a crane. I don't want to go wide. I don't want to go, oh, look how big and impressive this is. It's not about that. I wanted people to feel what it was like to be in the middle of a protest and to be there with Afshin and to be this close with him. It's the centerpiece of the film. I had heard about these locations in Morocco where Lawrence of Arabia was filmed, and no one had actually shot down there. Because it's quite far down, right on the southern border of the country. What people don't know is that you can't really dance on sand because your feet sink. So what we did was we dug a hole, and then we dug a massive hole about 20 meters by 20 meters, and we put wooden boards. And then we put carpet on the wooden boards, and then we put the sand on it again. So at least the surface would be hard when they were dancing. So that was really interesting. But it was still very difficult to dance there. I think the audience, when they see the film, will be left with a sense of unity and hope about what's possible when you do fight for your dreams. I hope it's a very inspiring film. I hope it's a film that people all around the world can connect to, whether they like dance or not. I hope it's a film that people that don't like dance suddenly love dance. And I hope it's a film that people that love dance suddenly go, wow, this is a film actually about dance.